Welcome investors. Let's get disclosures out of the way. I am an individual investor. I am not a financial advisor. This should not be considered financial advice. My name is Dave, and this is The Market Board. Today, we take a look at Take-Two Interactive Software, stock ticker TTWO, currently trading at about $163 a share with a market cap just north of $19 billion. We will first start by examining the people behind the brand. But first, just remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's scope in on their distinct creative teams, starting with Rockstar Games. Rockstar Games is known for creating groundbreaking blockbuster titles. They are focused on internally owned and developed intellectual property, and they currently have 10 different studios. The next studio we take a look at is 2K, who are known for their high-quality titles ranging from sports to shooters to action games, role-playing, and all the way to strategy titles. They own all their IP and long-term licensed brands, and they additionally have 6 wholly owned studios, some of which actually have multiple locations, and they additionally have relationships with top external studios. The third studio we take a look at is Social Point, who Take-Two acquired in January of 2017 for about $250 million. They were founded in 2008 and based in Barcelona. Social Point has been connecting the world through incredible gameplay ever since. They currently have 2 games in the top 155 top grossing on iOS and Android, and its 5 mobile hits, Dragon City, Monster Legends, Word Life, World Chef, and Tasty Town, have been downloaded over 600 million times. The fourth studio we take a look at would be Dots, acquired on September 4th, 2020 for approximately $200 million. They were founded in 2013 and are based out of New York City. They mostly build mobile games with unique and thoughtful designs, and they've created currently 3 mobile hits, Dots, 2 Dots, and Dots & Co., which have been downloaded over 100 million times. And finally, the last creative team we take a look at would be Private Division. Their publishing label focused on bringing titles from the market's industry-leading creative talent to the market. They recently launched The Outer Worlds by Obsidian Entertainment and both the DLC packages for the game. Additionally, they served as the publisher of Kerbal Space Program and the upcoming Kerbal Space Program 2, as well as announcing additional forthcoming games to be released from independent renowned studios. And in light of their creative teams, let's just also make sure we know who Take-Two Interactive's top competitors are as well. What we find out when looking into the competition is that they range in size and cost structure from very small with limited resources to very large and greater resources than Take-Two. Their most intense competition takes place with Activision Blizzard, Electronic Arts, and Ubisoft. Although it's less direct, they do still compete with giants including Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo for the sale of interactive entertainment software as well. Each of these competitors is a large developer and has the financial resources to withstand significant price competition and to implement extensive advertising campaigns. But to highlight some of Take-Two's strengths, we're going to examine their portfolio offerings from their lead 2 creative teams, starting with Rockstar Studios and then progressing to 2K. Undoubtedly, Rockstar Studios should be considered their lead creative talent, most notably known for their Grand Theft Auto series created in 1997, and since has become one of the most successful, iconic, and critically acclaimed brands in all of entertainment. They were known for pioneering the open world genre, and to date, the series has sold over 340 million units. When we focus in on their largest title, Grand Theft Auto 5, we see that they sold over 140 million units. They additionally reached 1 billion in retail sales faster than any entertainment release in history and became the best-selling game of the decade in the US based on both unit and dollar sales. And currently they offer Grand Theft Auto Online, which is a constantly evolving, regularly updated version of Grand Theft Auto 5 where you can interact with multiplayer experiences. The next series we take a look at would be the Red Dead Redemption series, which is known for propelling the Western to the forefront of entertainment, and this series has sold over 58 million units worldwide. And more specifically, Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold over 36 million units worldwide to date, and is currently the second best-selling title in the US the past 3 years based on dollar sales. It boasts an additional offering in Red Dead Online, another constantly evolving free updated multiplayer experience. Additional offerings coming out of Rockstar Studios include, but are not limited to, LA Noire, Max Payne, and the Midnight Club series. And next up, we take a look at what 2K produces, most notably the NBA 2K series, which is the best-selling basketball simulation property based on dollar sales and units in the US. The series has sold nearly 110 million units worldwide and currently is one of the top contributors to Take-Two's recurrent consumer spending. The franchise extended itself with NBA 2K Online in China, NBA 2K Playgrounds 2, NBA 2K Mobile, and the NBA Supercard game online. Additionally, 2K is teamed up with the NBA to create the very first ever competitive gaming league that is jointly owned by a US professional sports league. Next up, we see they produced Borderlands 3, a critically acclaimed shooter-looter title. The series has sold over 68 million units, and Borderlands 3 is 2K's fastest-selling title and has sold over 12 million units to date. And Borderlands 2 is 2K's top-selling title with over 24 million units sold to date. BioShock will be the third major offering coming out of 2K Studios, being a unique, artistic, narrative-driven shooter in a franchise that has sold over 37 million units. Every game in the BioShock franchise has received a perfect review score from an accredited level media outlet. And the final major production coming out of 2K Studios is probably Civilization, which is one of the world's top strategy titles for the PC and has sold over 56 million units in the franchise's history. They additionally are known for having successful add-on episodes and are currently expanding the brand in Asia with Civilization Online. Additional outputs coming from the team include the Mafia series, PGA Tour 2K21, WWE 2K series, and the WWE Battleground series. There's really no doubt that Take-Two is a leading creative studio, but what's going to matter to us as investors is how well do they capture dollars. When we take a look at their revenues, we see in 2018 they had about $1.8 billion in revenue, and that grew to about $2.7 billion in 2019 before growing all the way over $3 billion last year in 2020. We saw the cost of revenues increase exponentially between 2018 and 2019, although that is likely to do with the increase in sales, though we did not see the same increase in cost of revenues from 2019 to 2020, as they've seen a greater increase in digital and recurrent consumer spending. The end results are about a profit of $900 million in 2018, about $1.2 billion in 2019, and all the way to $1.5 billion last year in 2020. They additionally boast about $2.4 billion in cash and short-term investments, as well as a $200 million undrawn credit line should they come across any meaningful acquisitions. And they post gross margins of almost 50%. And we see it as no accident, as Take-Two has done a great job promoting engagement and growth in these sectors by focusing on virtual currency in the ways of Grand Theft Auto Online, NBA 2K21, and Red Dead Online, have focused on free-to-play aspects with Social and Dots, as well as NBA 2K Online 2, and have successfully rolled out add-on content for multiple other titles, including Borderlands 3, Civilization 6, and XCOM 2. To support our potential investment thesis, we take a quick look at institutional ownership, and as no surprise, we see that Take-Two has very strong institutional support. Vanguard Group owns over 10%, BlackRock owns over 9%, State Street Corporation owns almost 5%, Massachusetts Financial Services owns almost 3.5%, and the Public Investment Fund has almost 3.5% as well, for total institutional ownership coming out to over 95%, though that doesn't mean much on its own. Let's now use SWOT Analysis to briefly examine the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats we face as investors. In the way of strengths, Take-Two has world-class creative teams. They produce high-quality titles and they have a strong fiscal scenario and are showing consistent improvement. In the way of weaknesses, right now, Take-Two has less resources than many of their competitors, and they actually post lower margins than top competitors. EA and Activision each post 70% plus. In the way of opportunities, we see that Take-Two has done a great job rolling out virtual currency, free-to-play content, and add-on contents to maximize every dollar on each game sold. In the way of threats, we think that Take-Two has been a little dependent on the Grand Theft Auto product, and should the series start to see a decline, we would expect the company to as well. Additionally, Take-Two is subject to any risks that could result in delays and additional costs, and they also must have to adapt to changes in software technologies. The work-from-home play environment is starting to phase out, and additionally, they may experience declines or fluctuations in the recurring portion of their business. So why have I told you this all today, folks, and what's my position? Well, my position on Take-Two is I don't have a position. Take-Two may provide investors with an intriguing investment opportunity in a rapidly expanding video game industry. They have strong financials, strong intellectual property, and have strong world-class creative teams leading the charge. They, however, are susceptible to inflationary risks as they are a tech company and they may currently be too reliant on their concurrent customer spending. Before investing, I think I would just personally investigate the pipeline of future products to make sure that Take-Two had a stable revenue stream going forward. And on that note, let's just close out and say, I am an individual investor. I am not a financial advisor. This should not be considered financial advice. My name is Dave, and this has been The Market.